And joining us now are the two representatives who met yesterday with President Trump, the ranking member of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, Democratic Congressman Elijah Cummings of Maryland, and Democratic Congressman Peter Welch of Vermont. Elijah, you have faith? Should I have faith? This is a president who's calling Barack Obama a felon.
I am very upset about that, Mika.
Yeah.
Because I got to know Barack Obama quite well.
Right.
And I just think that was an inappropriate comment. I don't believe it, and I think he should retract it, but it's a little late for that. But with regard to our meeting yesterday, it was a good meeting. We went to talk about prescription drugs, Peter Welch and I, and I thought that he was very enthusiastic about our proposal to allow Medicare to negotiate for drug prices just as they do with VA and Medicaid. And he was very clear with regard to the issue. He knew the facts. As a matter of fact, he was even supportive of a proposal that we did not bring to him, and that was one that Bernie Sanders and I have been working on, which is to allow the import of drugs, people to go across state lines and allow the import of drugs from other countries because the drugs are so much cheaper for Americans. And so he took our proposal. We made it clear that we wanted to file a bill with regard to the negotiation of drug prices within the next 2 weeks. He had Secretary Price there, and he basically said to Secretary Price, get it done. And so I don't know how much more you could ask.
So, yeah, Congressman Welch, it sounds like the president was very open-minded on this issue, and it sounds like you all have a reason to be optimistic that there could be some big changes in this area. Is that an accurate characterization?
That is. You know, President Trump is a businessman, and he gets it, that you don't buy wholesale and pay retail, and Medicare is the biggest purchaser of prescription drugs. And he also gets it, a basic free market principle is that a buyer and a seller negotiate, and the seller wants to get a high price, the buyer wants to get a lower price. The other thing that I thought was very encouraging to me is that he spoke about this in human terms. You know, a lot of folks who voted for Donald Trump are really getting crushed by the high cost of prescription drugs. And they're put in this life decision where they have to purchase something they really can't afford or go without medicine that they or a child or a partner really needs. So he got it on a human level as well. And there was no mystification about it. He knows the VA negotiates, he knows that Medicaid negotiates, and he knows we're getting ripped off.
Congressman Cummings, this is one important issue, one meeting, and yet you both are saying things now that most Democrats in Washington and grassroots Democrats around the country will recoil from and say, how can these guys go to the White House and have a meeting and speak so favorably of the president? So explain to Democrats what you saw in that room that are making both of you say such favorable things about him.
Well, to be frank with you, I didn't know what to expect when I went in. But I've said it before. You know, President Trump is going to be the president for the next 4 years. In that 4 years is a long time. And I still have constituents who need health care. I have children in my district who need a good education. I need colleges that need to be funded. So if there are things that we can find in common, and Joe and I have talked about this several times, if there are things we can find in common to work on, I want to do those things. But there's been no greater critic of Donald Trump than yours truly. So you speak truth to power. I try to make sure that things like the emoluments clause that I think he has violated, and all of these entanglements, financial entanglements, they concern me. But at the same time, again, I need to get things done for my constituents. The child who needs health care may not be able to wait for the next 5 years. So I've got to deal with what I can.
So let me ask you
and
guys,
I thought he was very open.
Yeah, you know, Mika and I have obviously known him for 10, 11, 12 years. And people ask what he's like. And I always say, and Mika does too, he's completely different off camera than he is when he's playing a reality TV president,
On a social
which I think
level,
is what
he's super generous and funny,
Yeah.
as Hillary Clinton
So
said. It's really
I'm just
amazing.
curious. Hillary has said it. I mean, other Democrats have said it. Is that the guy you saw in the room one-on-one, a guy who's charming and seems open-minded and, quite frankly, seems just the opposite of what he shows himself on TV?
You know,
Absolutely.
maybe
I mean, go ahead.
Peter
Go ahead,
Welch.
Welch. Go ahead. Welch, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. You know, this was not really about getting to know Donald Trump. I've never met him, but here's what I saw in the meeting. Number one, that he was knowledgeable about prescription drug prices. Number two, he understood people who voted for him were getting hammered. And number three, the practical reality is the Republicans are putting up a wall of resistance, and the only chance Elijah and I and a lot of folks have to get lower prescription drug prices, make it affordable for people, is to have the support of President Trump. So if we're serious about trying to get lower prescription drug prices, and we pay the highest in the world, people are getting hammered, then we've got to work with the president.
All right, Congressman Peter Welch, Congressman Elijah Cummings, thank you.